Hello and welcome to Metra AV Tech Tips. I'm Brent.
I'm Adam.
And it's Friday.
It is Friday, so this is our Tech Tips Solutions episode today.
And what did we talk about on Wednesday?
Well, on Wednesday we talked about automation and security, and when is too much, or is when basically, how do you integrate and automate things?
And
because
when?
there's a difference between controlling something and automating something.
Absolutely.
Right.
So in your definition, what is the difference between a control device and an automation?
Well, a control device is just that. It's something that can be controlled by a control system. So Control 4, Crestron, RTI, URC, Savant, any of these off-brand whatever systems.
An event triggered by the end user.
Yes, the person controlling it. Now, an automation is when something happens automatically. That's where automation comes from. It's an automated
response to
device of some kind.
Right, where the homeowner's not pressing a button or picking up a remote or hitting a touch screen.
Right. It just happens based on some trigger of some kind.
An event other than the user.
Correct. Well, it could also be if the user's walking into something or a motion is detected.
But
or
he's not picking up a remote and hitting a button.
Correct. Yep. They're just doing whatever it is that they're doing. So, because of that, we wanted to talk about this device here. So this here.
What is that device?
This device here is a black box. No, this is our SPYP-NVR8. SPYP-NVR8POE.
And we're going to put that underneath, so
yep, you'll see it there across the bottom.
All of that.
Yep. So this device here, this is our 8-channel PoE NVR. It's from our new SPYP Pro series of NVRs. This has, in fact, Brent, do you have control? I have control.
You have control.
We'll go here to the top here with that. We'll go ahead and turn this guy on here so you can see this guy here. So this is the front of the unit here. Pretty straightforward stuff. You've got a USB port there in the front. We've got some LEDs here that give you some just feedback as to what's currently going on.
Further, what can I use that USB port on the front for?
You can use it for backing up videos. You can also use it for a mouse. You can plug a mouse into it.
Can you plug a keyboard into it?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
I mean, you can. It's just not going to do anything.
Oh.
So there is that.
So much like me.
Yeah. So we have here on the back of the unit, we have our 8 PoE ports. We have an audio in and an audio out, which is functioning. You can use that. We have an HDMI out and a VGA out as well for video.
We must feel in legacy mode.
There is also another USB output or input. This is, again, can be used for backing up video. If you have a USB mouse or something to plug into it, that's there as well.
I would recommend the mouse into that one and the USB backup in the front one just because of convenience.
Yep, exactly. Next to that, we have our LAN port there. That is for connecting this to the network, so you can see this on the local network there, or you can also plug it in there to be able to view this remotely through our app. And so that has that connection there for it. Next to that, we have some I/O, which is actually the focus of today's video, which we'll come back to that in just a second, because the last and one of the most important things is our power connection here. So you can hit that power, plug in the power there, and you've got power.
Well, you have to have power for any of the other stuff to work.
Which, of course, it does come with a power supply included in the box.
So
now,
what options do we have for automation built into this Atom?
So you'll notice here on the back of the unit, we have our different I/O inputs and outputs here. What you'll notice, we have our C for common, we have our NO for normally open.
Normally open what?
Normally open relay.
Okay.
That's right. From there, we have our ground connection, which corresponds to our 4, 3, 2, and 1 ports here, because that is a contact sensing. So this will actually detect another device somewhere else that triggers
this. So if you have a door contact or a motion detector or PIR, something like that can trigger this. Now, assuming we get a trigger on, say, number 1.
Yes.
What can I do with that information once it's been triggered?
So once that's been triggered, you can actually tell this and program this to start recording based on that trigger. And so, which is really handy, because if you have a motion detector, or again, like you said, if a door opens up or something like that, you can now trigger this system to start recording based on that activity that's now happened with it.
Can I tie that into the relay to say my control system's I/O to turn on lights or something else?
So you can use the common and the normally open to do that. So you can use the relay on this to output.
Based on what's happening on either 1, 2, 3, 4, or motion gathered by the cameras.
Yes.
I can close the relay to tell another system to do something.
That's right. So you can use this like a security system, where when one of the cameras detects motion, you can now close this relay to trigger another device or automation somewhere else
into a traditional alarm system or control system.
That's right. And so once you do that, you have the ability to use that information. Oh, get rid of that guy. You have the ability to use that information to tell the system to actually do something with it. So you can actually trigger an automation of some kind. Like on Wednesday, we talked about different automation systems. You have the ability to tell this based on motion. So you can say, here's my camera, it's looking at the front driveway. When it detects motion in the front driveway, I want it to trigger my control system to turn on the front lights.
And if you've got a control 4, Crestone, whatever, you can now say if it's after dusk, do this.
Exactly. So if it's after dusk and your control system is detecting motion, start recording. If it's during the day between certain hours, don't trigger anything, or however you want to do that.
On, or...
Yeah, exactly. And so this is a really cool way to increase your automation capabilities just with
to add some IOs to an existing system.
Right, and use what we consider to be a pretty straightforward surveillance product to also give you additional capabilities for automation purposes.
I have a question. As you go up from, in this case, 8 cameras to 16 and more,
yes.
Do you gain additional IOs?
With this device here, you would have to get into one of our 16 channel. I don't believe you gain any additional IO. I think it's the same number of IO.
Okay.
So you have 4 inputs on it, so you can have 4 triggers from something else, and it still has just the 1 output on it.
However, you can also trigger off any of the cameras on top of this 4.
Yes.
So all of your cameras plus those 4.
Yes. Yep.
That's a lot you can do.
It really is, because if you have a camera in an odd location, like for instance, you may have a camera that's monitoring like an AC unit, the compressor outside, where you may not have a motion detector out there because no one ran a wire or something like that. You can now use that camera to sense motion and then trigger, again, a light or an alarm system or something else to happen because of that. So it works.
Or if you have an area that's prone to flood, if you put a water sensor in that area, you can tie to this, turn the camera on, and let you know there's a problem.
That's right. So not only will it tell you that there's a flood of some kind or a water damage of some kind, but now you can actually get a picture of it. This is great for like vacation homes or something else like that.
Because a lot of times the cameras are not going to pick up rising water.
Right.
But with the sensor tied to this,
yes,
you can turn that camera on, trigger either automation system or something else to let you know.
So with that, everybody, this is our SPYP-NVR8POE.
And what's the next version up? The 16 POE?
There's a 16 POE as well. There's also a 4-channel POE. And then we go on from there to ones that don't have the POE built into it, where we have a 36 and 64. But they still have the IOs in the relay? Yes. Yep, they do. Yep.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah, great stuff. So everybody, thank you for checking us out today. If you have any questions about this product, reach out to us directly. Of course, you can reach me at adam.rogers@Metra AV or
Brent.McCall at Metra AV.
You can call us at 386-202-6137, or you can call our tech support at 386-492-8584.
Or you can reach Adam directly at 386-202-6132.
You can also, if you have questions about availability and pricing, make sure you reach out to your sales rep or your distributor to find out where this one is at and what its cost is, and they'll be happy to help you with that. And we're back here in tech support. We have the easy job. So with that said, everybody, thank you for checking out our video today. Ask questions about the SPYP-NVR8POE. We'll be happy to answer those questions. Reach out to your sales rep and your distributor. Find out about availability and pricing.
I'm Brent.
There, I'm Adam.
Reboot early.
Reboot often.
Don't cut your wires too short.
Turn off CEC.
And call tech support. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.